Hello, my name is Mazin Musa and I'll be discussing the 5 steps of a conversation. The most significant 5 steps of a conversation is very important because it involves our way of speaking to one another in our everyday lives. Whether it's from the greeting to the closing of a conversation is what we do every day, whether we are students, salesperson, or even a casual chat with our loved ones. The first and most important step of a conversation is the opening. The opening is what creates and makes the conversation, whether it's a handshake or a verbal greeting such as "Hi, how are you?" This is significant because it shows our connection of wanting to create and launch a conversation. Secondly, the feed forward portion of the conversation. This is what actually begins off on a topic of wanting to discuss with the person. We all know what receiving a feedback is. Feed forwarding is the opposite. We are giving information and discussing with the other person is receiving. This is the core to creating a conversation. The next step to a significant portion of a conversation is the business. This portion is what and where it leads the conversation to. Thoughts, questions, and concerns are being transferred, asked, and intake during this section of the conversation. Keep in mind, this does not justify the outcome of the conversation. The most important step, in my opinion, is the feedback. This is where I'll contract and support my conclusion by choosing and understanding the information I have been given or learned from this part of the conversation. Such as you mentioned in the feed forward, where you are given information, now you are receiving information in the feedback portion of the conversation. At last, the end of the conversation is the closing. This is the portion of the conversation that you wrap things up by saying their goodbyes and parting ways to continue throughout their day. Keep these 5 steps in mind. After explaining the 5 significant importance of a conversation, some of us, including myself, will not let these 5 steps contradict the outcome of a conversation. Such as the business portion, I will not let contradict the outcome of the conversation because in the receiving portion of the conversation, such as the feedback, we are receiving more information, and the closing is where we should contradict our final outcome of the conversation. Keep these 5 steps in mind to have an ideal and smooth conversation in the future. Once again, the 5 steps of the conversation are the opening, feed forward, business, feedback, and the closing. Hopefully these steps help you in the future, whether you're applying for a job, college, or speaking with your loved ones. Thank you.